so hello everyone. We are here again at the Liceo Math Club. I'm Sir A, and today we're going to discuss about the operations and functions. Okay, so we have four rules here. These are the common operations, you know them as the fundamental ones. Additional to this topic, it's the composition of functions. But today, we're just going to talk about these four, which is the fundamental operations. These are the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then division. Okay, so to discuss some rules, so this is addition. We can read it here, f plus g of x. Okay, so how can we solve this? This is equal to f of x, this function here, plus the function here. So this function plus another function. So that's simply some rule. So just an add, simple as that. Difference rule, we have here f minus g of x. So this is like saying f of x minus g of x. So respect with the first function here. So we're going to subtract the second function from the first function, and this will look like this. Okay, for the product rule, this is clearly multiplication. So we have f times g. Seldom some books will not put any operations here in between, but I will use a raised up to indicate this is multiplication. So f times g of x is equal to obviously f of x times g of x. Again, I'm using the raised up over here. Okay, but some books will display it like this, okay, without any operations actually. So when two letters, two variables, two functions are beside each other, that indicates multiplication. Just like saying 2x. We multiply x times 2. Okay, and for the last one, we have quotient rule. That is, we're dividing here. So this is f over g. Fractions has we're dividing, right? So we have f divided by g of x. So we have this equal to f of x divided by the function g of x. Okay, simply as that. Okay, that is, g of x should not be equal to 0. Since if the denominator is 0, well, that's undefined. Okay, so that's the four fundamental operations of functions. Okay, so let's have some examples here before we have some exercises. So say we are given with f of x equals to x plus 5 and g of x is equal to 3, or 3x rather. Okay, so we are asked to find here, simply as the sum rule, the sum of the functions f of x and g of x, the difference of f minus g, the product of f times g, and the difference, or the quotient rather. Okay, the quotient of f over g. Okay, so let's try to answer number 1 first. Number 1. Okay, so what is f plus g of x? Again, going back to the formula that we have shown before, this simply states that f of x plus g of x. So what I'm going to do, just need to copy or substitute the value of f of x here and the value of g of x over there. So this will give us 2x plus 5. This is our f of x plus. Then we're going to put the 3x over here. 3x. Okay, after the substitution, if we can simplify or combine like terms along the process, well, we should. So for example, here, we can see the 2x and 3x are like terms. Okay, since they both have a variable x with a degree 1. So we can combine 2x and 3x that will show us 5x plus 5. So this is our answer. For number 1. So we have 5x plus 5. Okay, number 2, we'll have f minus g of x. So again, going back to the formula, before we're going to put it as f of x minus g of x. Okay, so again, simply put the f of x here. So we have 2x plus 5 minus your g of x is 3x. So we have again. So again, we should simplify, if we can simplify. We can see here the 2x and 3x are again like terms, but take note, there's a negative sign here, or a minus sign. So if we're going to minus, the operation will not be plus, but we're going to minus. So 2x minus 3x is going to give us negative 1x, simply as negative x. Okay, copy the constant one. And this will be our answer for number. Okay, now let's go to number 3 now. So f times g of x. Again, going back to the example or to the formulas way back then, simply multiply them. F of x times g of x. So substitute, so we have 2x plus 5 for the f, and then 3x for the g of x. So since we have here a binomial, multiplied by a monomial, so what we're going to do is just distribute this 3x to both terms. So if we're going to do that, imagine distributing 3x here and also here. Okay, if we're going to have that, this will become 2x times 3x is going to give us 6x squared, okay, plus 5 times 3x is going to give us 15x. And this is our answer for number 3. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Let's finish number 4 here. This here, so we have f over g of x, that's the quotient rule. F over g of x, okay, f of x over g of x right here. So using the formulas we had before, so f of x on g of x. G of x should not be 0, or else it will become undefined. Okay, so what is f of x? Again, we have there 2x plus 5, g of x is 3x. Okay, again, simplify if you can, but in this part, well, we cannot simplify anything. So this will be our final answer. Just a common misconception about division with variables. It's a common practice, a common wrong practice, that we're going to cancel the x's over here. Okay, so that's a very big no actually, since we can only cancel factors. Okay, so this x is not a factor of this expression, but it's a part. Okay, it's a binomial, so we're gonna cancel just this term over this term, so that's illegal. We can cancel something like, say we have x times x plus 1, then we'll have over x here. So notice here that x is a factor of x plus 1. Okay, and x is a solitude term here, so we can just cancel this. But this is proper, this is improper. Okay, so to finalize this, okay, just take note of that as a common wrong practice. So this will be our answer. Okay, so I have here some exercises for you to answer. We have the directions. So evaluate the functions. Okay, so given f of x equals x minus 1 and g of x equals 2x plus 1, find the values of this f plus g of x, that's your sum rule, difference rule, product rule, and then quotient rule. You may pause the video if you want to answer them. Okay, you're gonna get a separate piece of paper and then scribble out, try to answer this. So hopefully you paused that video now. I'm going to check if your answer is correct. So can you be with me here? So for number 1, so what is f plus g of x? So I won't write the formula anymore. So we'll have f of x plus g of x automatically. Okay, so again, f of x is x minus 1. So let's put it as x minus 1 plus your g of x is 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. Okay, so simply combine the like terms over here, so we can see that x and 2x are like terms, so we can combine them together. That becomes x plus 2x. Okay. So x plus 2x is going to give us 3x. Okay, and then we have a minus 1 plus a positive 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is like saying 1 minus 1. That becomes 0. Okay, so therefore your answer for your number 1, that is f plus g of x, is equal to simply 3x. Okay, hopefully you got that one correct. Okay, number 2, that is your f minus g of x. Okay, so we're going to put f of x minus your g of x over here. Okay, so what is your f of x? F of x is x minus 1, simply copy it. So we have x minus 1 minus the quantity of your g of x, that's your 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1. Okay, since we have a negative sign outside the parentheses, imagine that we are distributing this minus sign to each of the terms over here. So if we do that, we'll be putting a negative sign on the 2x and also on the positive 1. So if that happens, we could simplify it, like copy this part here. We cannot do anything with this. Okay? So 2x times negative 1 is going to give us negative 2x. Okay, since we distribute the negative 1 from here. Imagine that there's an imaginary 1 here. And then we're going to multiply this negative 1 also to the positive 1. That will give us negative 1. Okay, on the latter part. Okay, so from here, we can just simplify it again. We could see that our x and 2x are like terms. So imagine x minus 2x. That will give us negative 1x. So just simply put negative x. Okay, and then negative 1 and negative 1 are like terms. So negative 1 minus 1 is going to give us negative 2. So this is your difference rule in this part over here. Okay, so for the number 3, let's continue. Number 3. Okay, so this is your product rule. F times g of x. Okay, imagine again we have an f of x times g of x here, f of x times g of x. Okay, so f of x is x minus 1, so x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. So we can see here a bunch of binomials. And again, remember when we're multiplying binomials, okay, we're going to make use of the FOIL method. If you cannot remember, FOIL method. That is your first terms, plus your outer terms, plus your inner terms, plus your last terms. So if we're going to follow the FOIL method here religiously, we're going to look at x times 2x. Okay, so again, x times 2x is going to give us 2x squared. Okay, so imagine a 1 here. So 1x times 2x, just say 1 times 2, that's 2, that's your coefficients. And we have x and x times x. So from the law of product from your exponents, x is like saying x raised to 1 times your x raised to 1. So from that, we're just going to add the exponents, 1 plus 1. That is your x squared. That's why you have that 2x squared. Okay, so we're done with the first terms. Let's go to the outer terms. So outer means, well, if we're going to look at it in the perspective of ratio and proportion, that is your extremes. So using your extremes, x times positive 1. So that's simply x. Okay, so we're done with the outer. Let's go to the inner terms now. So inner is like the means in this perspective. So negative 1 times positive 2x. So that will give us negative 2x. Okay, and lastly, your last terms over here. So negative 1 times positive 1. Okay, so negative 1 times positive 1 is still negative 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. And since they're mixed up signs, so it's going to be a negative. Okay, so from this, I think we can combine some like terms here. X squared doesn't have any like term, but these two are like terms. So since they have the same variable with the same degree, okay, so we can just add them normally. So we have 2x squared. This becomes 1x minus 2x is negative x minus 1. So we ended up in a trinomial. Okay. And then this will be our number 3. Hopefully you got it correct here. And lastly, before we end, we have here the f over g of x, simply as it is. Usually the f over g of x are, just put it as it is. Okay? Unless you can factor something, you can cancel the factors. Okay? So f of x is x minus 1. G of x is 2x plus 1. We don't have any common factors here, so simply as it is. That's your number 4. Okay, so check your answers there. Do you have any score? Do you have a score of 4, 3? Hopefully you got it. Given these exercises, these are just elementary exercises for this topic. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe in our channel. We have the Salle map down here. I think the subscribe button is over here. Okay, so kindly subscribe, and then yeah, watch out for more. Thank you.